Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Eternity. Hey y'all, hey, welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
Hello, I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura, and we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movies, sports, concerts, and even rom-coms. Yes, Shelby's favorite.
Best type of film.
We love to watch and we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching Eternity.
The newest rom-com from A24.
Yes. And before we get into our review, please make sure you're giving Sisters Who Watch 5 stars. 5 stars wherever you listen. Rate, download, subscribe. Give us a review. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok at Sisters Who Watch. We really appreciate your support. Yes. And you can buy our merch on our website, sisterswhowatch.com. Thanks, y'all.
Appreciate
All right, Shelby, can you give us a little background about Eternity?
Of course. Here is the logline, as always, how we like to start. In an afterlife where souls have 1 week to decide where to spend eternity, Joan is faced with the impossible choice between the man she spent her life with and her first love, who died young and has waited for decades for her to arrive. Ooh, love triangle. Ugh, what a logline. What a great premise. It was directed by David Frayne and written by Patrick Kinane and David Frayne. And our trio, our love triangle, is led by, would you say, who do you think's the lead? Is it Miles Teller's movie or Elizabeth Olsen's movie?
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah. But like Miles Teller had like a lot of screen time. Like that's the only reason why I was like, it felt like it was Elizabeth and Miles and then Callum.
Definitely.
But it starred Miles Teller, Elizabeth Olsen, and Callum Turner, Dua Lipa's boyfriend. And this was made by A24, you know, our favorite indie movie studio that isn't necessarily indie anymore. They're making
like
movies.
Pretty mainstream now.
Mainstream, yeah. And Marty Supreme. So they're not as indie as they once were, but still making bangers. And this movie made like the festival circuit, and like when the trailer dropped, there was a lot of buzz, particularly in my girly communities. You know, we love a rom-com. This is like the second kind of fall in a row where A24's released a romantic film, because we saw We Live in Time last year. Remember that?
Yes, we did. And that was more, that was like a romantic drama. This was definitely comedy forward, which I appreciated. And I actually got to see this movie for free. I did. You know, we love a free screening. And so funny, my friend who is also really into movies in San Francisco, she was like, Laura, there's a free screening of this movie Eternity. Do you want to see it with me? And I had never heard, this was over a month ago. And I was like, what is this movie? And I texted Shelby. I was like, should I see this movie? I'm kind of tired. And you were like, no,
yes,
you have to see it. You have to see it. I was like, very dramatic. My gosh. She was like, it's getting so much buzz. I was like, oh, okay. I'll go see it. So yes, I saw a free screening at AMC in San Francisco, and it was packed, right? Because they were giving these tickets away for free. It was through like bucket listers. Yeah.
So it wasn't the studio. It wasn't an A24.
Right. So I didn't know that bucket listers did like these kind of free movie events, but yeah, they just gave away tickets, and if you signed up, then you entered to win a trip. So the movie theater was packed. I have not been in a packed movie theater like that in forever. Wow. So it was like a very fun viewing experience. I think because, right, everyone's fired up and excited to be there. Like, yes, like free movie. And we had to get there early. It was first come, first serve. So we got there like at least 45 minutes before the movie started. And we were sitting in maybe like the third or fourth row. Like, this is to tell you, people got there hours before to get really good seats. And the people who were getting there like 10 minutes before it started were sitting like in the front row. So it was packed. So it was a very hot crowd, you could say. And it was a very fun viewing experience. Where did you see it?
I saw it at AMC The Grove, where we saw Hamnet. But it was a Tuesday night, you know, discount Tuesday, even though I'm A-list now, so it doesn't really matter for me. But it was discount Tuesday, and the theater was packed. Yeah. Like, it's funny. You were like, oh, it was a hot crowd. This was a hot crowd weeks in. I'm like,
interesting.
Full theater, people cheering for Nicole Kidman. I was like, classic LA.
Classic.
I was like, Eternity's been out for weeks, but people are still pumped to see it. So that was cool. Like, it was a good vibe.
Yes, I feel like this was such a unique creative film as well.
Yes,
So I bet that was a good conversation.
it was.
And what were your, I mean, you told me, Laura, you have to see this movie. Of course, go to the free screening because I was thinking about staying
Yes.
home.
And
So
aren't you glad
what,
you didn't?
yes, I'm glad I went. It was very fun. And so what were your expectations coming into the movie since you had heard a bunch of stuff about it?
Hi. So
Mm,
I've said this before. Friends, people that really know me, they know I like a rom-com.
yes.
So I hadn't even
What?
seen the
Shelby
I
likes
don't
rom-coms?
shocker.
What?
It's my favorite genre. Surprise. And so, oh my gosh, twins.
Shelby and I have matching Stanley Cups, which is very silly. Stay hydrated, friends.
So, yes, I love rom-coms. And people who know me know that. So, I hadn't even seen this trailer yet. And people were like, Shelby, you have to see this movie. I was like, what? And people, I'm kidding you, multiple people. And that tells you, like, oh, love that. People really know what I like. It's nice. So when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, this sounds like so up my alley. And we love a love triangle, whether, Challengers was great. Like, just, we need a bit of drama in the romance.
Yeah.
So I was very excited, mostly because of the trailer, the buzz, right? It was at the Toronto Film Festival. It wasn't on my most anticipated list because, like, I hadn't heard of this movie until, a few months ago. So it wasn't like I was anticipating this for years. But once I heard about it and saw the trailer, I was ready.
So I honestly had no expectations coming in. I didn't see a trailer. I felt like
Wow.
I didn't know a lot of people who were talking about this
Interesting.
movie. So I didn't know anything about the plot, like
Yeah.
literally nothing. I just knew it was romantic comedy. So I came in blind. Shelby's like, you have to see it. I was like, okay.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I did not know. So then I was like, oh, this is a unique premise, right?
Yeah.
So the movie starts with this old couple and they're going to, their grandson's birthday. No, the gender reveal.
Like, it's the gender reveal for their great grandchild.
Yes. They go to a gender reveal.
And they're complaining because they're like, what's the gender reveal party? Like, this is stupid. Da da da. They almost get in a car crash.
I know. And then
and I remember old Larry is like, why are they having a dinner reveal party? People die at these things. He chokes on a pretzel.
He chokes on a pretzel. He falls back and he hits his head on the ground.
And he dies.
And that is how he dies.
Because of a pretzel.
Because he was choking on a pretzel. It was also because they were showing this hot picture of his wife's first husband. So
yes, who died tragically.
That was the catalyst. That was
the last thing he saw before he died.
Yes.
Very,
very
his
funny.
Wife's first husband.
So then we see Larry get off of this train. He enters into this mysterious room, and everyone's like, "Where am I? Where am I?"
And it's young Larry.
Yes, young Larry.
It's Miles Teller Larry, which I'm like confused about. I'm like, he's not an old man. Oh. And then we find
what's
out,
happening?
And then the ACs, the afterlife coordinators, we find out they say like, "Oh, you end up in eternity as your happiest self." And so a lot of times it's like young when you're young. And I was like, oh, that's clever. Like, that's interesting. But then it's interesting when it's like not, like when someone's older when they're there. Or
and
they're a kid.
They said there's a lot of kids there. And we saw that.
Wow.
Like, I know, that's sad. Yeah.
I know it is. So it's like good commentary. It's like, when are you happiest in your life?
Yeah. Do you think you've been, I mean, God willing, we haven't been at the happiest point of our lives yet.
I hope
but
not.
what do you think? It's like the question where people are like, if you could be any age, people have asked this in the past. If you could be any age and be at that age forever, what age would you choose?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I feel like sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, high school or college, because you have no real responsibilities, which I think is fair. And you're young. But I do think, even though I don't know like what the astrology term is, but there's something about the like late 20s to early 30s that's like you're put through the ringer. What is it?
Yeah.
Saturn something? I don't know. But even though I think parts of your 20s can be challenging, I do think I now in my late 20s am so much more confident than I was when I was like in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and people say that like once you're in your 30s, you like don't care. You
Yes.
you just live the let them theory kind of thing, you know? So
Yeah.
I do think there's something to be said about being still young, but having lived enough.
I think I remember when people would ask these questions like in high school and college,
Yeah.
and everyone would be like, I'm gonna be 21. I was like, no, like, why would you want to be 21?
No idea what
Sounds
you're doing.
horrible. I've always was like, I'm gonna be 35. Like, as a
Yeah.
teenager, I was like, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
35. Because, right, you are settled, God willing. This these are all
Please.
hypothetical.
I know.
I'm more, I'm settled in my career. I know what I'm doing with my life. I feel like right now there's so many question marks in my life that it's just stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be settled in my career, God willing, married. We'll see. But I think at like maybe early to mid 30s, like I feel like settled. There are not as many
That's what
question
everyone
marks in my
says.
life. Like I just
Yeah.
want, to be a lot more stable. So I've always
Yeah.
been like, I'm gonna be 35. So that is still how I feel.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm already starting to feel that. I'm like, yeah, you like it's true. As you get older, you're kind of like, why are you stressing? Like things will maybe
Right.
work out. It's true. Like once you've had more experience.
Yeah. You
But
kind
like
of know
when
what
you're
you're
in your
doing.
30s, you're still young. So it's like that
Exactly.
kind of perfect mix.
Yes.
where
Yes.
It's like,
And that's what it was giving with, the attorney cast. Like they were
yes.
giving, I don't know how old they were actually, but it was giving
Yeah.
like maybe late 20s,
Yeah,
like
it was
early
giving late
30s.
20s, early 30s. Yeah.
Yes. So what did you think of this whole concept of picking an attorney? You have 1 week to choose, and you have to decide where you want to live the rest of your life and who you want to live it with.
I think it's very clever and creative, but I also
Yes.
think, dang it, it's kind of unfair for
I
these
know.
people.
I don't like that idea.
I don't like that. It's not enough time. The rest
No.
of your life, I don't know who's there. I don't
Right.
know like what I'm gonna do. Yes, it's like picking a timeshare vacation, but that's not like it's different. It's your whole life. I mean, it's your whole afterlife.
Yes.
So I think it was so creative. I thought the world building was clear.
Yes.
A lot of times with fantasy sci-fi, I complain because it's too complicated or it's not
Right.
clear. And I'm like, they made everything very clear. You
Yes.
die, you get on a train, you're in this area.
Your AC will explain everything to you
Literally.
shortly.
And everyone's like, where's my AC? Where's my AC?
What's an AC?
And then you finally get your afterlife coordinator and they talk you through things. You go to this kind of weird hotel room. You're there for a week. You go to the job fair or the afterlife fair and you pick. And then you're sent on a train and then you have to go there. Like it was very clear.
It was clear.
Even though I didn't necessarily like it because I was like, dang, that's a big choice in a short amount of time.
I know. A week to pick eternity.
I like appreciated it. I was like, yeah, this is clear. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really impressed by the creativity and the fact that it was also grounded. Like it didn't feel like so out there. Like, okay, this I can follow.
Yes, exactly. I totally agree. And if you had to choose an eternity, beach world was popular, mountain world, baby world, which one would you choose?
I think it would have to be like a destination that was relatively normal in the sense that I couldn't be at the beach all day. I'm sorry.
No, I would never
I
choose beach.
couldn't be in the mountains and hiking all day.
No, I wouldn't like that.
Do I want the living in a cabin? No. Like, would I want the opportunity to? Yes. It's like LA. Like, would I want the opportunity to go on a hike? Yes. Would I want the opportunity to go on a beach? Yes. Is the weather typically good? Great. No snow? Great. Like maybe it's LA. I don't know.
I know. I was thinking about this. I was like, where would I want to live forever? And then I was like, San Francisco? I literally thought that. I was like, oh my gosh, do I want my eternity to be San Francisco?
Or
I'm like good weather, right?
Yeah.
Like you can be outside in nature, you can live, you could explore a city. Yeah.
I was like,
no snow.
The only one that intrigued me was the Paris one, but it was in the 60s. I was like, why do I have to be Paris in the 60s or whatever? But I was like, okay, a metropolitan city like Paris, like there's going to be a lot to do. It's good fashion,
that sounds fun.
Good food, like shopping, fun. Would I eventually, and everyone spoke English, like she said.
Perfect.
Like, oh, like that's something I could.
All right, I could get used to that.
Like,
that sounds fun.
Right? And so I think that's something like, oh, maybe like a fun kind of European metropolitan city like Barcelona or Paris.
Yes. A Barcelona where everyone speaks English.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's it.
Yes. There was one where it was like no men worlds. And I'm like,
Hilarious.
that sounds nice.
So funny. Yeah, like that's the thing is that some of those were funny. Like, yeah, they had Cowboy World, No Men World, Queer World. Like, I thought it was funny how they had all those different themes.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
But to the point of the guy who's like, I don't look at art anymore. He was in Art World, and it's like, I think when you have something so specific,
you would go
probably
crazy.
Gonna get sick of it, and that's my only thing about even choosing No Man World.
Yeah, eventually, you're gonna want. Yeah,
I'm gonna be freaked out that I don't see any men. I'm sure. And I'm like, wait, I just want to like have a crush on someone, like I might eventually be like annoyed.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, I would want something as close to like reality as possible.
And that's what they ended up choosing in the end. A simple life. Yeah,
which is sweet. Interesting how that was discontinued.
I know. It seems like people would like that. Just a nice suburb. I mean, honestly, I would want to. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds nice. A nice suburban town.
Goods.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely love to live there.
Yeah, because again, I think the extremes. That's where you get. That's where you mess up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in the beach, hot sun all day. I don't want to be. I would hate Beach World. Like a nightmare.
So Larry was trying to figure out if he wanted to. Right. Wait and stay for his wife because she was diagnosed with cancer and the doctor didn't know how long she would last. Yeah. So they already kind of knew that coming into the gender reveal that she was going to die soon.
Yes.
So Larry's like, oh, like, I don't know if I should wait for my wife.
Yeah. And he's telling this to Da'vine Joy Randolf, his AC, Anna.
Yeah. She was like, I think she was the best part of the movie.
She was so funny.
She was so funny. And
Oscar-nominated Da'vine Joy Randolf, excuse me.
Oscar winner.
Oh my gosh, that's what I meant.
Pardon. Winning. Put some respect.
Well, I brought it. I meant to say it because I was like, Oscar oh my gosh, we didn't mention how she was an Oscar winner, and I accidentally said nominated.
I know, that is crazy how she was an Oscar winner. Honestly, as she should be. And she was the best part of the movie. I thought she was so funny. Blonde wigs were hilarious.
A different wig every scene.
Every scene. I'm like, who's doing her hair?
Right.
Different blonde wigs. Every scene was so funny.
So funny.
My friends and I, the girl who I was sitting next to, she was cackling like the entire movie. She's so she was cackling the whole time. And I think the movie was very funny. I was shocked at how funny the movie was because movies aren't funny these days.
I know, it's hard to be funny.
You don't go to movies and laugh.
It's hard to be funny. And they're not making comedies. So
no. So I can't remember the last time I was in a theater watching a comedy. And it was actually very funny. That was a pleasant surprise. So Larry is like, oh, like Beach World, I think I might just go early, save us a spot for me and Joan. It's Joan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go to Beach World early to save a spot for me and Joan. And then I thought this was
his week was up.
Yes, because his 7 days were up. I thought this was a really good scene. He's like in his, beach shirts and his shades and his bucket hat. And as he's going down the escalator to Beach World, he sees Joan and is like, Joan?
And it's Joan?
Young Joan. Honey. And he's like running up the escalator, yelling to track down Joan. And he's like, wow, I made it just in time. And I thought that was really sweet.
It was. They have like a funny reunion. It made me think of a little bit like Freakier Friday, how like you switch bodies, and it was like they were getting used to being in young people's bodies again.
Yes.
But their minds were like older. So I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. It was like the kind of physical comedy.
Like, whoa.
Like, oh
my.
He was like, squat to make yourself feel better. And she was like, squat? And I was like, squat? And then they squatted. And I was like, oh,
he's like,
they're not
oh
used
my gosh.
to
the knees. Yeah. That's so hilarious. I know. I really like the squatting scene. I thought that was so good. And as they're reuniting, and they're like, oh my gosh, Larry. Oh my gosh, Joan. I'm so happy you're here. She sees her lost love, husband. Her first husband, across the room. And Luke. Like they have the slow-mo and she's like,
Callum Turner looking great.
Looking real nice. Real nice. Hilarious.
Crazy. And Larry's like, oh, that's my bartender. And it's like, no, Larry, I mean, yes, Larry, he was
Yes,
your bartender,
Larry.
but no, he's been waiting 67 years for Joan.
Oof.
Laura, would you wait 67 years for someone?
67 years is a really long time.
It's
I
kind of
feel like
crazy.
once it is kind of insane, but it kind of feels like you're either waiting an eternity or waiting in that little box. And I'm like, I don't know if eternity is any better than, the little in between.
Like,
So
he
I
probably would have been kicking himself if he never had a chance to like see her
right.
again and he was just in eternity, you
Exactly. In
know?
eternity.
Yeah.
I think
Doing what?
honestly,
Being heartsick?
yes, with no chance of ever meeting
Yeah.
her. And whereas when you're in this little box, right, the in between, at least there's a chance and you're meeting new
Yeah.
people and you're like doing
No,
and
that's a good
working and all that
point.
stuff. So if I was in his position, I would wait too. It's like you have literally nothing to lose,
Hmm.
So
That's true. I think people were making it seem like, oh my gosh, why would he wait? Like, this is so hard. And I think people are idolizing eternity.
yes.
Like, I think they were. They were like, oh my gosh, eternity's gonna be so much better than this. But in reality, you have people trying to escape through Red Door and then being forced to go back to the eternities.
I know the
It's not
eternity.
all it's cracked
Yeah,
up to be.
it doesn't sound that fun. Honestly, I think I'd have more fun being an AC and helping people. That sounds way more fun.
I think so too.
Right? You get to work with people, help them find like where they want to go. Like that sounds way more interesting than just sitting on a beach for the rest of my
Oh my
life.
gosh.
What did you think of their meet cute when they lock eyes?
That was great. I think Larry was shaking in his boots.
I mean, come on. I mean, I'm
Justifiably
not a
so.
Miles Teller stan. I'm not really into him, but man, like if I were Joan, you know who I'm choosing.
I
Come on, come
know. And that's
on.
why I thought the casting was so good because it was great. Like, yes, Miles Teller's like boy next door, a little
Mhm.
goofy, and Callum Turner's like
Brooding military
brooding
man. Oh
military
my
like
gosh.
heartthrob that you can't not look at. So I feel like also I'm like he's British. The fact that he was doing an American accent, I'm like, how do all these Brits do this?
I
I'm like,
know. And I like forgot that he was British because I've never seen him act in anything. I just know him as Dua Lipa's
I
boyfriend. Well,
see.
now fiance. So
Yeah.
I've never heard
Yes,
him
excuse me,
speak.
fiance. It's important.
So I've never heard him speak, but I kept on looking at his face, being like, he has such a British face. I was like, he looks British. And then when I found out he actually was British, I'm like,
Such
look
a
at
British
me.
face is
He looks British.
crazy. What does
Like,
that mean?
you know how men have British, like some men look British. Like, I'm like,
He's
oh yeah, I think they're
so
British.
like
I
he
was
looks
thinking that
like
the whole
Josh
time.
O'Connor. He looks
Yes,
like
he looks like every Paul Mescal. He looks like all those guys. He looks like all of them identical.
please.
He looks,
That's
I mean, he
so
looks identical to Josh
funny.
O'Connor.
Like, yeah, as you said that.
Identical.
Like
I'm
once I
like, he has
said
a
that, I was
British
like, oh, he
face.
does look like Josh O'Connor.
He has a British
That's
face. So I was like,
so
I
funny.
think he must. So I literally was thinking, I think he's British. He must be British. Just look at
That's so
him.
funny.
And he was.
He was in a Netflix movie that came out when I was there, The Last Letter from Your Lover. Have you
Oh,
heard of that? Probably not.
no, I have not heard of that
It was
one.
Shailene Woodley and Joe
Oh,
Alwyn and
no, I've
Callum
not.
Turner. Yeah.
I've not heard of that movie. I know when Dua Lipa, it's like, oh, actor Callum Turner. I'm like, what has he acted in? I'm like, no one's ever
Put
seen this
respect on
guy.
his name. He was in
But
Fantastic Beasts. He was
okay, that
in
was a popular movie. Yes.
uh, The Boys in the Boat,
Okay,
Masters of the Air.
I've heard of The Boys in the Boat.
So, like, yeah, he's been in things, Laura.
Just things I have not seen. But
Yeah, just things
yes.
you've not
But
seen.
clearly he's like he's Dua Lipa's fiance, right? Like no
Yes.
one, I feel like most 90% of people had no idea who he was until he started dating Dua Lipa.
I guess I was in the 10% who knew, but yes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone knew about the letter
Last
movie.
Letter from Your Lover.
No.
Please.
I've never heard of that movie. So yeah, this was the first thing I'd ever seen him in.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was a big role, and
great.
I thought he did a very good job.
Casting was
So
really spot on.
so now Joan is in this sticky position, and she has to choose an attorney with one of these men, right? The ACs were like, well, you could live in eternity with both of them, but both men were like, no, I'm not doing that because that sounds like miserable. I mean, she would be happy, but the men would not like that. So they do something very special for her because she's like, I can't make a decision. I don't know who I want to live with for eternity.
Yeah.
And they let her do a little trial period. What did you think of this?
I thought it was smart
Mm-hmm.
because the AC's job, right, is to help your clients, right? You
Right,
want them to
right.
have the best eternity or best case scenario. Like, it's probably a fail when your client tries to escape, you
Of
know?
course.
So I think it was the best way for them to appease all of their clients. So I thought it was
Right.
smart. And I also thought from like a actual AC perspective, and then I also thought it was smart from a storytelling perspective because, you know, Luke and Joan never actually got to live their life. So they don't
Mhm.
really know each other. So this is finally giving them a chance to do that.
Right.
And then it's also gonna give Larry and Joan to see if they want to continue living together. You
Mhm.
know? And because they kept talking about, oh, she likes the mountains, he likes the beach. How are we gonna like find a place that we both want to go to? And they find out Beach World was not for them. So I liked it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting, like when Luke and Joan um go to, I guess, the mountain world or the
Yeah.
hiking world or whatever, they have a few road bumps. Like he gets uncomfortable when she talks about her kids and grandkids and
Yeah.
great grandkids. Which I can understand why he's uncomfortable, but like, is she never gonna be able to talk about that part of her life again?
I know that's such a big part of her
That's
life.
huge.
Yeah.
And yes, she moved on from you and started a new life. So I can imagine that's hard while you've been waiting for her. But like
What else was she? Yeah, she had to
it
do it.
happened, you know? And then when they went into the archives, I thought that was cool. Like
Yeah.
seeing like those memories.
Yes.
But then things went left when we saw the memory
I
of
know.
Joan getting proposed to by Larry on the dock. I was like,
Mm,
yikes.
I know. I mean, they said that there was the point where Larry kind of swooped in on Joan was like very close to after
Yes, like
Luke
she got
died.
married 2 years after.
Yes, which is very fast.
It is.
So I can't understand how he was like, how you took advantage of her. She was grieving and you swooped in, all this stuff. And this was interesting. Okay, if you were in Joan's position, what would you do?
Well, it's interesting because right, um she went on both tests.
Mm-hmm.
Had kind of issues on both. She didn't really like Beach World. Um like if I was Joan, I probably would have chosen myself, which she did for a
Mm-hmm.
second. Because honestly, and like what her friend was saying, that was funny how her friend was there
Yes.
who was still old because the best time in her life was the happiest she was at was when her husband was sick or died and she
Yeah.
had like a lesbian summer or something. I was like,
So funny.
so funny. My theater cracked up when she said
Yes.
that. Like, it went wild. Like, so funny. And like, she was gonna go to the Paris city. And I was like, yeah, honestly, like going to like a Paris with your best friend and like
Sounds
choosing for
fun.
yourself for the rest of your life could be a vibe. So when
Yes.
that happened, I was like, oh, I think that's probably what I would do. Because this is the rest of your life. You're stuck between two men. Like she said, she's going to be sad and upset and hurting someone no matter what, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
And so as I was watching this movie, I was like, she's not going to pick either of them. Like, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it feels too obvious and wrong to pick
Yeah.
either one of them. And I was like, she should choose herself, right? She can meet someone in the
Yeah.
eternity, right?
Yes,
And
there's so many people. That's what my friend said. She was like, she can meet someone
exactly.
new.
You can meet someone new, right? And right, you're with a friend. You'll have fun in Paris world. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I thought was going to happen. And then Miles Teller
So many
Larry.
twists and turns, man.
I know there were a lot of.
Which
I
I
think it got
liked.
a little
Oh.
unwieldy. Personally, I was just
Mm.
like, okay, it's getting too
Kept
complicated,
us on our toes.
right? So I thought the movie ended like 3 different times. So I
Yes.
thought she
That
was
was what
going
kept us
to.
on our toes.
I thought she was going to choose herself, and then
Mm-hmm.
Larry knocks on the train.
Well, he
Is
has a
like,
realization
yes,
while talking to Luke at the
yes,
bar as they're drowning their sorrows. Like, oh, she's not picking either of us.
right. And he's like, ugh, this is unfair. She got to live a life with me. She never got to live a life with you. And then he chased her down and was like, pick him, pick Luke. You
Because
deserve
your
it.
because your hair's different.
Yes, yes.
He realized that when he was with Joan, her hair was always short. And she was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I cut it after Luke died.
Mm-hmm.
And her hair was long, so which meant that
Mm-hmm.
she was happiest when she was with Luke. And so
Exactly.
it was Larry basically being like, "It's okay, you don't have to prove to me, don't
Yeah.
not pick him because of me. Like you were your happiest with him." And that shook me because I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't like noticing that her hair was different.
Yeah.
The
That was
language meant she
good.
was happiest with Luke. It
That
was
was a
interesting.
good nugget for
It
sure.
was a good nugget.
So I was like, oh, I love that, right? Like he's letting her
I
go. They got to have the kids. They got to
know.
grow old
Yeah.
together, right? Let her spend time with her first husband. So
Yeah.
I was like, I like this
The
ending. I was
shot
like,
they never
great,
had.
perfect, love it. And then they go to Mountain Worlds, Joan and Luke, and
Mm-hmm.
Joan is unsatisfied, right? They're living together, they're doing all the things,
They're
like
hiking, they're meeting
they're
new people, they're hot air
yes.
ballooning,
And
and
Joan just she's not happy. She
she
keeps
keeps
on
going in
thinking
the
of Larry.
archives
Keeps on going to the archives, reminiscing
about
on her
Larry and her kids and their
memories.
life.
Yes.
Yes, which didn't help. The guy that
No.
was manning it, he was like, "This isn't healthy, lady."
She was the only
And
one there who cleaned every day.
literally, and I thought this was it's interesting how you think it got unwieldy. I thought it was again clever because your first love, your young love, you were only together for a little bit. Of course you were your happiest. Like you hadn't really like lived or known anything. And I thought it was an interesting take on like young love, first love, kind of like forever. You're kind of clueless, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
young and dumb and figuring things out. But there's something about the longevity of a deep love. Like you're bickering, but also you're building a family. And it made me think like, whoa, even though she might have been the most happiest, the most kind of idealistic when she was with Luke, that could never compare to the actual life and that depth of love that she had with Larry.
Yes.
And I thought that was an interesting take. And I also thought like she didn't really know Luke that much, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
she said that they got kind of together quickly and they got married and he died and everyone was like, "Why is he with you?" Like her mom was like, "I thought you were pregnant. That's the only reason why you got married to him." So it felt like they like she was now getting to know him and she was like, "Oh, he likes to hike, he likes to do this, he likes to do this, he doesn't like to bicker with me." Like I think she started to realize like, "Oh, I don't really know this man like I know Larry."
Well, yeah, yes, of course. So, I thought it was interesting how she was like, I can't be here. Ah, poor Luke. I was so upset for
I
him.
know, he was a
This
good
man
man.
waited
I know.
67 years and he finally gets to live out the rest of his life with his wife, the love of his life. And then she's like, I can't be here. I was like, how dare you? I was not happy about this.
It
She was
was
like, I
tough.
have to go back. Luke is better than me and he helps, devise a plan to get Joan out of Mountain Worlds and back to Larry. And we see and Larry replaces Luke as a bartender,
Mm,
which I thought was funny.
mm-hmm.
And I wonder why he was like, yeah, I'd rather just, work at the bar, not spend eternity. Maybe just the idea of like maybe she
Mm-hmm.
comes back,
I
right? There's
think
at least
so.
some hope if
Yeah.
he's in the in between.
Mm-hmm.
And this was when it got this when it got unwieldy. She was like running through the archives. She like snuck in and she's like getting hunted down by the authorities. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, this felt
Mm-hmm.
too idealistic. I was like, this was not possible. I just could not believe it. This is when it went
Mm-hmm.
a step too far where I was like, this doesn't seem within the world.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of her escaping from Mountain World, fighting off and then she was like climbing through like memories and like under the bed? Like I just didn't understand what was going
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with it from like a story perspective. I was like, I've already kind of had to lock in and be like, okay, this is a bit of a fantasy world. So
on.
I didn't mind it. And they had already said like they hinted at like people escaping already. So that didn't bother me
Mm-hmm.
too much. I did want to have more clarity around maybe the archives and like
Yeah,
how she was climbing through
I
memories.
know. I was like,
Like
how
that
is this
part
possible?
I didn't necessarily get, but
I thought it was confusing.
I wasn't like, "Oh my god." it didn't bother me too much. I was just like, get her safe to Larry. And
LOL.
our
Yeah.
favorite ACs, Anna and Ryan, who are now dating. So bizarre, because
That was another thing. I'm
Ryan
like,
gives like the gayest man alive.
right. I thought that was, I guess that was the point of the comedy. Like,
Yeah,
it
like
was
it
such
was
a bizarre
funny,
couple. But I
but
was like, y'all, please,
like
please.
that, it's a little far fetched, but happy for
A
them.
little.
They see Joan and they're like, what? And they realize, oh my gosh, she's escaped. And so they help hide her. And she's like,
Yes.
where's Larry? Where's Larry? And then they're like, they kind of smirk. And then she shows up to the bar and there's Larry bartending. And
Oh, wow.
it felt like she needed to do a big gesture because, right, she basically went
Yeah,
with
she
Luke.
rejected him.
She rejected him.
Yes.
So she needed to escape, risk her life for this man, for him to be like, okay, yeah. And then they go live their simple life.
Yes, and then they sneak out into the ACs were like, oh, if you go to the abandoned eternities, no one will find you.
Yeah, because they're discontinued. No one
Right.
goes there.
So they escape to the simple life eternity and live happily ever after. What did you think of this ending? Was this satisfying? Were you rooting for them?
My first option was her alone. My second option was Luke. So technically I was not rooting for Larry, but Larry did win me over in the sense I'm like, wow, the sacrifice of being like, no, you're happiest with Luke, you should be with him.
I thought that was good.
I was like, okay, Larry.
That was good.
That was very
Okay, you ate
selfless
with
of
that
you.
one.
Yeah, he ate. I was like, okay, I'll give that to you. I'll give you that to you. So that had me start to like support Larry that
Right.
moment. But no, I either wanted her to be by herself or with Luke. So I didn't necessarily love where she ended up, but I thought that the way that the story went, it did make sense. Because they, even in the car when they were fighting, they were like, oh, we need to go on vacation and retire. They were like, oh, is it mountain? Is it beach? So for them to just end up in a simple life at the end together, like it started with them, ending with them in kind of simple spaces, I was like, oh, that's sweet and makes sense.
Totally. Yeah, I was a little, I understood why they ended it the way that they did, but I didn't love the ending. I was just like, oh, like this was such a unique, creative, out of bounds movie, and for it to just end with like her husband, I was like, really?
I'm screaming.
I was just like, I thought I was a bit underwhelmed by like the ending,
fair.
but I thought the other twists and turns were interesting.
That's
but
fair.
like after she rejected Luke, I was like, okay, I you lost me. You lost me with this story.
Yeah, it would have been hard to say no to him in a eternity world where he's just doting on you.
I know, it didn't make sense. I was like,
it made sense to me though.
I just didn't understand why she was like, oh, I can't do this. This man who's like has been waiting for me. I thought it was confusing. I was like, why? Yeah, I didn't. When she left Luke, I was a little checked out. I was like, this doesn't feel realistic.
Every decision she was kind of making, it was like, oh, her friend was like, come to Paris with me. Larry's like, oh, you should go be with him. It felt like she was still never making a decision on her own volition, if that makes sense. And this felt like, okay, I'm finally listening to myself. What am I feeling? I'm missing Larry. I don't fully know Luke. Like, I'm not enjoying the hiking. I'm not enjoying meeting all these new friends. I kind of just want to chill. And Luke's not very chill, right? He's a military man. And I think she started to realize all those things. And like, wow, Larry's my person. And so
yeah,
she
very
finally
romantic.
made a decision. Yeah,
it is like the ending was kind of stereotypical romantic comedy ending. Like I come back to the original love and my person. So that's why I was like I was like, I didn't love the ending. But so Shelby, would you say Eternity is a wait or a watch?
Watch.
Yeah, I think it's a watch.
When is the last time you saw a unique, original, creative rom-com in theaters?
I can't tell you. It's
Anyone but you count, but you didn't see that.
I saw like 30 minutes of it on Netflix when Friends had it on TV, and I thought it was so bad, like actually so bad.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even think that counts.
That movie was bad.
I saw it at a Actually, Soho House in LA. It was like a Cornell alumni event because a Cornellian directed it, wrote and directed it. So I actually even didn't see it in like a theater, but I was like, oh yeah, this movie's fine. Yeah, like I say that to say there has not been like an actual creative, unique, original rom-com in theaters.
I can't remember the last
No.
rom-com I saw in theaters. So
So this
I
is
was
big.
I was
This is good.
impressed. I thought it was a good movie. Not
Mm-hmm.
my favorite. I didn't love the ending, but I definitely do think it's a watch. Especially if you're a
Yay.
romantic comedy girl like
Yes, give me your
Shelby.
picks.
On our what to watch segment, I'm surprised that this movie didn't get any Golden Globe noms. Were you surprised?
I a little, but it's also kind of a like a stacked year for movies. I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of these races are crowded, and
Right.
so and this is what happens sometimes. A24 has some other movies that I think that they're really focused on,
Right.
like The Smashing Machine with The Rock and Marty Supreme that's about to come out with Chalamet. So it
Mm.
feels like sometimes when that happens, they're focused on like this was like third, fourth, probably fifth priority
I know
in
because I'm
terms of
looking
awards.
at like the best motion picture, musical or comedy. Blue Moon has I don't think anyone's seen that.
No, people are talking about it.
Bugonia,
Yeah, it's
Marty
pretty.
Supreme. I'm like Bugonia, Shelby.
Did
This
you see
movie.
it?
No, I haven't seen
Oh my
Bugonia, but
gosh,
you can't tell me Bugonia is a better movie than Eternity.
it's not.
No, so that's why I'm like,
I did not like Begonia.
and New Wave, the Richard Linklater movie. Um, I'm like a comedy that movie. I'm like I don't think that movie was a comedy. A lot of can representation in the nominees, I must say,
And the
but
last few years has been on it.
I know it's really interesting. I've
Cannes
seen a
has
lot of these
become the
movies.
festival to
Yes.
if you want to get awards buzz.
So yeah, I was just surprised that it wasn't in the best comedy
But see,
category.
Marty Supreme, it's an A24 movie. That's what they're focused on. People um underestimate rom-coms. They do.
Yeah, it's just not
It's hard for,
as
like even though
prestige.
Eternity is better than like Die My Love. Like
Hmm.
because Die My Love is like a drama and it's like Lynn Ramsey and you know all this stuff. They're
Hmm.
gonna just think of that more of, as an awards contender than Eternity, even
Right.
though Eternity is a better movie.
This is true. So is there anything? So yeah, at this point, it seems like there probably won't be awards love for this movie, which is
No,
unfortunate
there probably won't be.
because I actually thought it was really funny and really interesting and creative. Well, if you enjoyed this episode of Sisters to Watch, please make sure you're giving us 5 stars wherever you listen. Rate, download, subscribe. We really, really appreciate your support. And you can buy our merch on our website, sisterswhowatch.com.
Yes, we really appreciate y'all so much. Keep supporting, keep following, liking, DMing, commenting, all the things. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Stay watching.
Everything.